and welcome to CIO News. I am Khushbu Soni, founder and chief editor at CIO News. This is a recorded session and will be available on our website, that is cionews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle, as well as YouTube channel. It will also be available on Everbridge social media handles. This is a series on Tech Talk, and on my today's episode, I'm very excited to invite David Wagner, also known as Dave in the industry. Dave is the President and Chief Executive Officer for Everbridge. Everbridge is a critical event management company and also a software as a service solution provider. Dave has been in the industry for the last 30 years. He has 30 years plus rich experience helping organizations transform, lead, and grow into the B2B space. Dave, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So, Dave, to begin with, if you can give us a quick brief about Everbridge.
Very simply, Everbridge digitizes organizational resilience. And so resilience may be one of the most used words of the last 3 years, but it's critically important to organizations to be able to respond and recover from disruptions to their business. A lot of business value is created in times of disruption, and the companies that are able to thrive in disruption are the ones that ultimately win in the marketplace. So at Everbridge, we provide one platform to digitize that organizational resilience by bringing together 22,000 different data sources into our platform, helping our customers correlate those risk events with the things that they care about, and build a single pane of glass for doing incident management and communication to largely people that are impacted, to provide a holistic response to critical events.
Fantastic. So my next question is, if you can give us a little bit understanding about what is critical event management and how does Everbridge help in this space?
Yeah. So critical events are anything that can disrupt your business. These days, climate events, driven by the climate changes globally, are one of the key risks that our customers think about. Our customers think about cyber incidents and the possibility that those could have to impact their resources. I had the pleasure of sitting in a panel discussion today with one of the IT leaders responsible for one of the major states here in India. And who would have thought 15, 20 years ago that IT infrastructure would be at the core of customer citizen services for a government in India, making sure that the direct benefits get to farmers, making sure that the markets places are available. But we have key critical services at governments and enterprises all around the world that we help our customers be resilient and be sure those critical services are available at all times.
Talking about resilience, Dave, since you just spoke about it, as per you, how far are Indian businesses in terms of resilience across all sectors?
Yeah, well, I think Indian businesses are a lot like global businesses. We are all moving very quickly to a place of increasing resilience. One of the ways I think about it, and maybe many of your viewers think about it, with a background in cybersecurity, I've watched over the last 28 or 30 years how sophisticated we've got it as an industry of using data to make our investment decisions. So it used to be 25 years ago, we just reacted with investments in cybersecurity, but now we're much more intentional. We're able to communicate to our board of directors the costs and the benefits of our cybersecurity investments. We're not nearly as far along in maturity around the physical risk to our assets. And that's where I see Everbridge really helping clients around the world and here in India accelerate the use of data and information to make better decisions, make better cases for the boards of directors and the C-suite around their people safety, their supply chain safety, and those kinds of issues going forward.
Right. And Dave, when we talk about some of the biggest challenges faced by enterprises today around operational resiliency
Yeah.
or even maintaining business continuity,
Yeah.
if you can throw some light on that, and how is Everbridge helping in these areas?
Yeah, so the risks are real and they're coming together. From an incident response perspective, there's not much difference in what happens when you have a cyber attack that's disrupting our services to our customers, or whether it's a cloud service provider outage that's causing a disruption to our customers, or whether it's a weather event that's impacting our employees that's causing a disruption to our customers. It's really a customer-centric view that drives the business value of resilience. And that's something I think that some companies and some management teams miss. It's really the customer-obsessed organizations, the ones that understand that being available in times of crisis is going to elevate your brand, elevate your customer experience, and elevate your market share. It's just really, it's really important that customer centricity behind the investments in business resilience. Forrester did a study of future fit organizations and the increasing profitability and increasing growth of those companies that make the investments in resilience.
Right. And if we talk about the challenges that CISOs face today, the enterprise CISOs, since you interact with a lot of CISOs across the globe and even in India, if you can talk about some of the challenges that you've commonly heard from them.
Yeah, it's well, one, the CISOs and the CSOs, as I said, are doing a really good job. They're becoming very experienced at making risk-based decisions and presenting those decisions. But the challenge most common is tech debt. So most of us work in organizations that are more than 3 or 4 years old. And if you're more than 3 or 4 years old as an organization, you have technical debt. And how do we bring the best available tools? How do we provide continuity of our services? Change management creates risk. And so that tech debt.
Okay. And Dave, if you can, while you interact with a lot of chief information security officers, CISOs, globally and even in India, what are some of the common challenges that you've heard from the CISOs in the enterprise space?
Yeah. So CISOs in the enterprise space, from my perspective, are doing a really good job making risk-based decisions, handling a diverse set of challenges. Their importance was elevated during COVID and their great responses to that. But the biggest challenge is dealing with technical debt. Any CISO or CIO that works in an organization that's more than 3 or 4 years old is challenged with, how do I manage this technical debt? I know the new tools, I know how to improve my posture using the latest technologies, but how do I make sure I'm also secure in my legacy technologies that might have some technical debt?
Right. And how is Everbridge helping in all these areas? And also, if you can talk about the public alarm system, how is Everbridge solving that?
Yeah, so I'll take that last part of that question first on the public alarm system. I'm really proud of the work that we're doing globally in public warning. It's deeply impactful work for the safety of people around the globe. We're active and deployed in 28 different countries as the national provider of public warning systems. And these public warning systems have demonstrated a huge impact on people's safety. An example, there's a country here in Asia that suffered a tragic tsunami event, killed 9,500 people when they did not have a public warning system in place. And a similar event occurred 18 years later with a public warning system, and less than 20 fatalities from a very similar event. And that's the power of using technology for people's safety. And even though this is a public warning system and the availability of smartphones for a large number of people is enabling warning systems better than have ever been available before, we can translate that to the enterprise, where we can take advantage of the power of the mobile device to improve the safety and ability to care for our employees in ways that were not imaginable even 7 or 8 years ago.
Fantastic. My one last question. What are your plans for the expansion in the India market?
So India market is really important to us, and it's important to us in 3 areas. First, for a long time, more than a decade now, India has been a source of engineering excellence for Everbridge. Virtually all of our products are supported by very, very strong technical talent team here in India, and we expect that technical talent team in India to continue to grow. The second area is in support of our current key customer base in the Global 2000. And so the Global 2000, whether they're headquartered here in Asia, headquartered in Europe, or headquartered in the United States, they are functioning as one global organization. And India is a key part of their service delivery, and particular service delivery where we provide services into the SOC and the GSOC. And so we're investing in India in sales and marketing and service to support those global 2000s that have very large presences here in India. And then last and not least, of course, the growth of India and the future of India is, the prospects are really bright and really strong, and we want to be a part of the growing India market as well.
Fantastic, Dave. Wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for all the great insights that you've shared with us for our viewers. Any last pointers that you would like to add before we end our discussion?
No, just thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the work you do. It's so important, this duty of care that we have as leaders of enterprises. You know, I admittedly didn't take it serious enough pre-pandemic, and the pandemic has really taught us as business leaders the importance of continuity plans, the importance of caring for our employees to ensure resilience of our organizations. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dave, once again. And I'm sure our viewers will have great key pointers out of this discussion. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.